There's a goddamn trap.
So, hey guys, welcome back to What's the Tea with CG. Sorry for the delay. We went through a few hiccups, you know. With any good team project, there are going to be some ups and downs, but it's about how we recover from those, you know. Anyways, let's get to the fucking E this week. Who's with us? Yeah, that's a good question.
Introduce us.
Whatever. Anyway, my name's Drew. I'm the little Animal Crossing dude. I'm joined this week with Liam. Say hello.
Oh my god.
Mally.
Hello, that's me.
And our guest of the week, the famous Rawssy.
Can we get the loudest Rawssy, please? Can we get the loudest Rawssy?
Liam, go.
I'm gonna blow out my mic, dude. I'm not gonna try. Oh man, I gotta move back. Hold on. Rawssy! There we go.
Oh, I love it. Alright, so first on this week's topic list, we have Runefest, staple in the community. Basically, all of us sweaty nerds on RuneScape the Third and old school private server get together and we have fun with the J-mods that aren't J-mods at the event. They're just like, you know, the parent chaperones from middle school dances is basically what they are. I mean, anyways.
Yeah.
So who's going, who's not going?
I was gonna say the dates got announced recently. It's in the same spot it was last year, the Farnborough location.
Yeah, Farnborough.
A lot of people aren't super happy about that. The venue wasn't stellar in my opinion. And it's sort of in the middle of nowhere. There's not much going on in the area besides the venue and like a couple of bars and stuff.
There is one amazing thing about Farnborough though, and that's the fact that you can get a pint for £2.
I mean, yeah. It's
True.
It's like outside of London. Like, because I'm gonna go to Runefest, but I'm not going to Runefest. I'm gonna book a B&B with the boys.
Right, yeah.
And just like...
I am also actually trying to go to my first
My
Runefest.
boys.
2019,
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully the stars align.
I'm going. Like I'm going to Runefest, but honestly, I've mostly just bought a ticket so I can go the night before because the night before is the only thing that matters.
It's
It's
way
about
more
right.
fun.
That's pretty much it, really. Like I'm not a massive fan of Farnborough, but because everyone's gonna be there, I'm not. Like there's just kind of no excuse.
I mean,
so
Runefest is
Yeah.
so good because like that's where I met Liam. That's where I met Ross. That's where I met a bunch of people when I was in APOC. Like I was just guesting, and I just saw everyone through it, just going chilling at the B&B. And Rawssy like tried to slip me a cheeky vodka in his water bottle when he was going to the pre-party as well. I remember that.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
What a
I
great
remember
friend.
vividly my first night
Bro, I
before.
don't know what you're talking
What
about.
do you
This
mean?
is
Fucking-
slander.
Rossi pulled out a vodka or an iron brew bottle full of vodka out of his fucking boxers.
Yes, lad.
This man was packing.
Yeah.
Bro, for context, boys, for context, right? Runefest
Yeah, this was in
2016. This would have been.
Yeah.
No, it's 17 or 16, either are, right? The night before venue, a pint of beer was
Yep.
approximately £7. So
Fuck that.
I thought, fuck this. It's more economical to go to Sainsbury's round the corner, buy a bottle of vodka, buy a bottle of iron brew, put half the bottle of vodka in half a bottle of iron brew, shake it up, put it in my gooch, walk in, and then fucking get to like a quiet bit of the night before venue, whap it out
Yeah.
and share it out.
Literally the definition
dude.
of calculated. Holy shit, I love it.
Yeah, no, I
remember,
mean, it
I
worked.
remember as well.
Yeah.
It was at Namco 2016 was, and everyone got like chicken nuggets. I remember this so vividly. I was drunk out of my mind too, but like Rawssy came up with his bottle of, I think it was water that time. He really was just like, hey, you want a drink? I said, I'm alright, I've got my Coke, and he's like, do you want a real drink?
Incredible.
Oh, I'm a terrible influence. I'm so sorry.
It was great. It was really fun. Like the whole thing was sick.
I don't know. I've always heard good things about it. I don't know why I'm so anti Runefest, probably just because I'm anti Jagex. But it's like you go there for the
That's-
people. more
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
And literally, I do night before and whatever the fuck happens after, not go to the actual venue.
Yeah.
Literally just there for the people. Like,
It's
I don't want to see all
yeah.
of these letdowns that literally happens
Yeah.
year in and year out.
Like
I know.
I've been there. I've been to 3 Runefests. I've never once sat and watched the main stage events. I've always.
Wait, are you
been
sure
moving around
about
with
that?
people. 100%.
I could have sworn I saw you in the audience one time on Twitch.
Nah, not
Really?
certainly not sitting down. No, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's. I've always kind of just had more fun walking around and talking to people and hanging out at Weatherspoons and shit than actually like sitting there and watching the reveals. Because I'll just fucking watch the video afterwards. I'd rather spend time with my friends than watch Mod Mark on stage make bad jokes and have no one laugh. No offense to Mod Mark.
Do you think the Golden Gnome for top tier E-boy would go to Rawssy this year?
I think he would certainly be a strong competitor.
Could have that category, to be honest.
There should be fucking dumbass categories like that. I swear, it'd make it way more entertaining.
One second. Not gonna put this in the recording, but I'm gonna change the server location again because Liam is so laggy for me. I don't know why.
Oh heck! All right.
Now we should be back. Okay, ready? We're back.
Alrighty. Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. So like, I remember hanging out with RSN Layham, Ashwin, Ben, Nora, all those people. They were really nice people. Like I've never like met them beforehand, and then when I actually met up with them, I just like click. It was great. Playing card games and drinking, blackjack and everything. And that was Runefest. You know, I didn't go to Runefest, but I went to the B&B that APOC was hanging out at, and it was fucking fun as shit. It was great.
The thing that I love about Runefest is the fact that like it's literally your entire Twitter following in the same building.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Oh, it's nuts. Like I think I can't remember whose house did we go to. Like, so whose B&B did we go to? Because I don't think Rawssy was there, but there was like a bunch of.
Which
2016.
year?
There was like a really cool building with like a fucking like a pool. Well, not a pool, like a pond for all the ducks to go into. Oh, I can't remember who it was.
Wasn't my Airbnb.
Sounds like a house that JMJ would get. I don't know.
Dude, his place was nutty.
I think it would be JJ or like, cause I remember Billy Bond being there. Rest in peace, his soul. But like, he was there with us, just like chilling out and just talking to us, and I was like, really.
No, sure that wasn't 17.
I've only been to 16.
Where the fuck did I stay for 16? I don't think I think I only went to the night before at 16. I went to the event, like I was at the event, but then I left fairly early because I think I had to go and get the last flight home or something. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure 16 is the only year that I didn't go to the Saturday party. But I definitely was at the night before.
Definitely remember you.
But yeah,
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know where you stood because I think that's the one year that I didn't like go to anyone's Airbnbs or whatever.
Go get fucked up. Pre-party, after party, at Runefest, outside Runefest.
Liam, are you gonna come again this year?
Oh hell yeah!
Liam comes every year.
Good shit, bro.
It's nuts. This man.
Liam's a dedicated transatlantic king.
I'm a man of the community. What can I say?
Dedicated transatlantic king. I love it.
Transatlantic.
I'm hoping this is my first one.
Like a lot of like.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty lit.
It'd be nice to see you across the pond.
Reveals as well.
What's stopping you, Drew?
Mainly financial stuff, to be honest. Like, I focus financial stuff into other things. Yeah. It's like, I can't really put aside that much money, unless I save way in advance, which I have started. But for me, the minute I touch foot in Europe, I want to go to so many other countries that one trip. It needs to be at least like a 2 to 3 week thing. Like, Runefest to start it off, and then literally end it off in a different country. Like, I can't just go there for the
before and like go to
I'd
go
end
to
it
like Germany.
Ooh.
Amsterdam is really good too. Yeah, dude.
Yo, catch me in Amsterdam doing Space Cake, boy.
Exposing yourself on a podcast, Rawssy.
Mate, 2019. Who
Yeah,
the fuck doesn't
exactly.
smoke
And it's
weed
legal
over
there, so it's
Yo,
alright.
Honestly.
facts. Honestly.
Well, yeah,
It's so
like,
weird
yeah,
how the legality works.
yeah. It's pretty much illegal everywhere now. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the UK, they barely give a fuck. Like, if they catch you with a joint, all they're gonna do is slap out your
Bad
hand
boy,
and be
being
like,
a
"Bad boy, don't do it
warning,
again."
and then they never take the details.
Yeah, exactly. It's now
remember.
legal medically in the UK as well.
Yeah, it's really.
That's really dope.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
kind of rare to get. It's very rare to get a prescription for it.
Yeah.
But
That's
It's,
how it is.
it's pretty
in New
common
York.
over here. We have a
Yeah,
ton of
so
distilleries now.
Jealous, dude.
Yeah,
It's still like
we're coming up, dude. We're not like Denver or anything, but
Yeah, well,
Maryland's
yeah.
coming up.
it's still fully criminalized
Fully
where I am.
criminalized.
It's decriminalized in New York City.
Criminalized.
Well, the opposite of decriminalized, bro.
It's not legal. It's
Oh no, it's such a harsh term, but
Are you
it's
gonna get
real.
arrested if you
Yeah.
have possession of weed over in New York? Like what?
So there it scales. You only get arrested if you're carrying more than an ounce, or if you clearly have it with intent to distribute. So if you have it in a bunch of little bags, then yeah. But I remember I only got in trouble for it once when I was like 16, and they were like, "Just do it at home. Like, just don't let me, don't make it my problem too." Because like,
It
I mean,
happened
they
to a
really
bunch of
don't
my
care.
friends.
It's not worth their time with the paperwork and everything for
literally,
a
yeah.
16-year-old with half a gram of weed on him.
I don't know how.
Yeah, legit.
I mean, it also depends on the cop, though. Some will
That's
literally nick you for the most retarded shit, and
True.
it's
Is
it's
this
so
personal
annoying.
Experience?
Yeah.
So
I was...
no, because I literally didn't start smoking weed until like maybe a few years ago. I don't know. I just was never
Sure.
really
Maybe.
into like, I wasn't really into the whole like weed or like any of the drug scene, to be
Weed,
honest.
Yo, you wanna take a toke of
Dude, the
my
culture,
weed?
bro.
20 is it, dude?
Dude.
Here's the thing,
Dang
right?
kush,
Like,
bro.
like California is what fucking corrupted me, right? Because I was there fairly recently, as I'm sure most of you are aware. And I was walking around San Francisco, just chilling, and then I look up at this billboard and I'm like, oh, what are they advertising? And it's a dispensary, and they're like, oh, blah blah blah, we're on this street, whatever. And then on the other side of the billboard, they're like, oh, we also do deliveries. It's half an
Yo.
hour for delivery. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's not
Like,
even
what
bad.
day and age is this where you fucking have 30 minutes delivery time
Yeah.
on a bag of weed? Like, literally, I'm sitting at home depressed, and I could just be like, you know what? Bring me some fucking weed.
Half an hour, you're good.
Let's talk about your trips,
Literally,
actually,
that's
Ross.
sick.
That's really cool. Like you went to America and everything. It's really sick.
Oh.
And going.
Yeah. I mean, America was like my big trip to start the year off, I suppose. I was quite fortunate and got a decent bonus at work, so I was like, fuck it, dude. And I went to go and meet some friends that I've known for years. So that was amazing. I spent 6 days in New York to see everyone in New York again. Unfortunately, Liam couldn't make
Snake.
it, but hey ho,
I didn't, yeah.
it's the way the cookie crumbles.
Snake.
But no, I saw everyone else. I saw not Liam, sorry. I saw Owen,
Oh, and yeah.
etc. And then San
Oh, yeah.
Francisco I was on my own for a couple of days. Oh, actually, before I went to San Francisco, I went to Washington D.C. for a day and a half, which was good
Oh
fun.
shit. That's awesome.
Dude, a few hours away from me. What the hell?
Wait,
Actually,
you
like
met Drew?
an hour and a
You met
half.
Drew?
Where do you live?
Dude.
Where am I? North in Maryland.
Oh, I got the train from New York to Washington, so I'm pretty sure I went through Maryland.
Wow.
I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe not.
It's pretty dope.
But yeah, so New York, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles, back home.
That's a really good
Nice.
trip. What was that?
Yeah.
What, a
Some good
month
coverage.
and a half?
Yeah.
Oh, what
2.5
the fuck?
weeks.
Damn.
What?
Christ.
Moving around, bro. Shit.
5 days New York, day and a half Washington, 4 days San Fran, 5 days San Diego, 3 days
Oh my
LA.
God. Like that's a very good spread.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is
it's
it
not
okay
bad
if I use
coverage at all.
images from your Twitter about like your trip? Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. No, fucking
no.
copyright
I'm asking
strike.
permission, alright? I'm asking permission. Yeah, it's alright. No,
Can we
don't
copy strike
strike
him?
me. I need
Yeah,
money,
sure.
even though we don't make any money from these.
You can use picture. I can
Yeah,
send you
that's
more
good.
as well. I don't.
That's good.
Up
But
to you,
the people on
brother.
Spotify won't be able to see it unless they watch it on YouTube, so that's okay. Yeah, they
Yeah, they can use their imagination.
Yeah, dude.
Or
Imaginative.
Spotify, conveniently, if you go to
Hey, the
twitter.com/Rawssy, it's the pinned
self-promos!
tweet, and you can literally have a
The
thread.
plug.
Don't forget to follow Aaron Alico, thank you.
Oh my god, are we all plugging
Our socials are on the screen.
I am not saying my underscores.
Our socials are on the screen. We're fine.
Socials blow my bubble.
We'll be
Oh my
fine.
god.
Was it? Oh fuck. Speaking of U.S. Drama and territories and stuff, right? Alabama banned the gay rat episode. Mr. Ratburn got a really bad press in
Alabama would be on some shit lately.
Gay rights. They literally said "fuck gay rights." That was
The state
actually
public television, blocked this one episode.
Stupid, like.
I've got an idea. Let's move everyone we know out of Alabama.
The whole
But like,
state, dude.
it's kind of coming back to shoot them in the ass because, I believe the state of Georgia were also looking to introduce these laws, and then companies like Netflix and Disney and like the super giants were like, if you introduce these laws, we're moving out of your state.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, funnily enough, they backtraced on these laws. So, money talks, people. Money talks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
It feels like so regressive to be having like not gay rights issues, but I guess gay publicity issues and stuff like that in the year 2019, because I feel like we've already settled these issues, right? Like as a nation, we've already sort of been through this back and forth, and we settled it, and now we're like, this stuff is coming up again and being like a relevant topic. It's just like so mind-blowing to me. Maybe that's just coming from me being sort of a progressive liberal.
Hey,
like,
get wrecked,
it just seems so like it's just crazy, dude. I don't know.
It's a cartoon.
I mean, to be fair, the government are putting
that is
chemicals in
true.
the water to make frogs gay, so like anything could happen, bro.
Dude,
They're
Alex
making the
Jones is
frogs gay.
That's why I got blocked on the media.
No, but like, I agree. It's kind of like I understand why, because obviously like everyone has different beliefs, right? So like I understand why people would not be supportive of the idea because they've always been brought up with the idea that it's wrong and blah blah blah.
Right.
But like at the same time, it doesn't harm them. Like if this specifically, let's like backtrace to this TV episode, right, where Mr. Ratburn's getting married to his husband, or sorry, his fiance, soon to be husband. All you have to do, if you don't want your kids to see that, is just switch the fucking channel.
Right.
Like it's really not difficult, and like I don't know, they're like their whole sort of argument for not wanting to see this stuff is that it's against their beliefs. But then if you counter that, you're like, if you counter their argument, you say to them, well, being gay is okay is my belief, so why are you allowed to pose your beliefs on me if I can't? I don't know. Basically, right? It's just stupid. And I don't know. I get, right? No one's gonna like everything. Fine, whatever. But at least be respectful of each other. Like, fuck it, you don't like the idea I'm gay, whatever, you're my neighbor, I'll get on with you, but that's that. I don't want to be friends with you, whatever. Like, people just need to start becoming more, not necessarily accepting, but more sort of
tolerant,
willing to put
tolerant
up with things.
exactly
like, just tolerant. Yeah, exactly. Like, it just, I don't know. It's
isn't-
just like, chill out, bro. It's not
It's
that deep.
really easy for us to say that though, as literal like progressive liberals. Like, basically the whole reason why this got pushed was because of this one dude named Franklin Graham. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know him. You know, the fucking Christian evangelist, evangelist with that missionary dude on the TV. Yeah. Like he's literally, dude, he's hard stuck in his ways. So many people in Congress, in like politics, anybody with that much power, hard stuck in their ways, literally for 30, 40, 50 years in that position, and they will literally sit on their ideals, push them to the public. It doesn't matter, even if the public is against it, because they will, at the end of the day, like as we see with this Alabama stuff, still get their way. Even if it's in a minuscule like region, they also don't care about the backlash, which is funny because it's every state versus them. And I don't know how a human can sit there and be like, oh, this is my belief, and I'm going to push it on you guys, and if you guys don't accept it, haha, you're wrong. And then not be able to take that back and be like, oh, maybe I fucked up. Maybe I shouldn't have tweeted out that it was promoting the LGBT agenda as, like, slander against the episode itself. And it's a kid's episode. I literally grew up on this shit, and it was so nice to see this on social media after so many years. Like, even the kids in the episode thought he was going to get married to, like, a woman. And then I think some people went and memed it and said that Alabama's going to get a different episode where it's him married to his sister or his cousin. And everybody lost their shit on Twitter, and it was beautiful to see. But then this came out, and literally everybody rallied against it. It was literally everybody rallied coming together, like, against this. Even though technically you can't really paint Alabama as, like, a super evil, like, oh my god, come together to fight the boss Alabama or anything. But it's like,
you can't.
Well, I mean, didn't Ohio introduce similar laws? Oh wait, not laws. Well, sorry, I was transitioning into the fucking abortion shit. Like, just because Alabama, they banned the gay stuff and they also banned the abortions. Well, they've not banned them, but they've made it extremely difficult and unrealistic to get one. And I'm fairly sure there's 2 other states. I think it's Ohio and...
I would say Georgia as well, but I'm not 100%.
We didn't do our research, boys.
Which...
They get copy striked.
I'm just gonna...
Drew did the research, it's fine.
Did he get copy striked?
Yeah,
Drew's got to carry with the facts.
Well, the thing is, like, isn't America meant to be...
Oh, Alabama, Ohio, and Missouri. Wow.
See?
Ohio? What? So, Missouri I kind of get. It's like, Ohio.
Right.
Are they a red state?
That's
would
a color.
assume. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Aren't they just
Good observation,
so, like,
Mally.
I know this about
our
America,
red state.
that they're meant to be like a different state legislation for each states, right? But you don't want to put your beliefs on the church. So why are they still listening to a book that was made, let's say, fucking 4,000 years ago by some old dudes who were high on some shrooms, obviously, and wrote some commandments about bullshit? But don't follow, like, shit like, oh, you can't mix fabrics or you'll go to hell. If they're gonna follow everything by that book, they should.
You know, it's
retarded.
Yeah, people kind of selectively take what they want, they take what they want and they don't take what they don't want. But I mean, the whole church and state separation or lack thereof is definitely something that's frustrating for me as someone who's not religious, I guess. Because it seems really contradictory that separation of church and state is one of, like, the things that's a pretty concrete, I don't know what the word is, not rule, but, like, idea in government. But, like, people still take their own, sort of, like, views that stem from religious upbringings and impose that into how they legislate or work as a member of Congress, and I find that really frustrating. And I get that, like, you want to follow your beliefs, but, like,
you can't bring
God into it when the whole point is that God shouldn't be involved, because there's lots of people who don't believe in God, or who aren't Catholic, or who aren't Christian, or who don't follow the same faith as you.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know, it's really hard for every human, or even for us, to think that every human can be all inclusive.
Yeah.
Learn to, like, roll with the punches. It's so much harder than we even think, even though, like, some days, as progressive liberals, if we want to call ourselves that, like, some days it's really hard to accept other people's opinions and stuff. It's like, you see something and you're like, wow, that person's really dumb. That's your initial thought, and it's hard to get away from that, but it's also really easy to just blurt that out on social media. And that's where you get all of these fiascos, all of these scandals, a lot. Like, people just say stupid shit that comes to their head, straight out, publish it, doesn't matter who sees it. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get backlash. It's like they think about that after the fact.
Yeah.
I think it's a conscious thing that we need to change.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I think objectivity is important. Because I sort of, like, I mean, I do have my beliefs. I do consider myself a progressive liberal, and I do follow people like Jebrim on Twitter. And, I don't agree with, or I should say I did follow him. I think he's still suspended.
Yeah.
I don't agree with a lot of the things he says, but I'm not going to, number one, call him out for it because it's not going to do anything. He's not going to change his mind. And number two, there's no point. Like, I can respectfully disagree with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an extreme example, but I can respectfully disagree with a lot of people who don't share my beliefs on Twitter or in person or on whatever platform, because, like, people are going to have different upbringings than I did. People are going to have different life experiences which cause them to think different ways, and they're no more or less correct than I am when it comes to subjective things like that.
Agreed.
And speaking of sort of religion and I guess religion is not a good way to segue this. I shouldn't say that. Speaking of the state of Alabama, there was a law. I don't want to be too rude. There was a law proposed that I don't believe has been voted on because I think it's a very new thing. That would cause people convicted of being child molesters to, as part of their parole, to pay to have themselves chemically castrated. It seems like such an archaic idea.
Really
That's some
good
Game
idea.
of Thrones
I feel
shit.
like it's a really good idea.
It really
it's
is.
fucked that.
I see where it's coming from. I just feel like it's a little barbaric.
Chemically
to be like-
castrating yourself just makes you infertile, right?
It's still not gonna
Like, you still
stop
have
you
your
from
bits,
fucking
right?
child.
I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know how it plays with your
so I can
testosterone
talk
or
about
estrogen or
this.
anything
Chemical
like that.
castration is like it stops the production of sperm that can fertilize anything. So you still have your dangly bits, but they'll just won't work properly,
Well, yeah.
And sometimes chemical castrations can even be reversed, so it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a really iffy subject about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I don't know,
No, we'll find to add it
in the podcast.
No, we'll find
Let's cut this whole bit out.
it's talking about policies and legislations. It's already public on the internet, so it's okay to just have stuff like that.
Yeah, it is pretty fresh. I'm seeing like 8 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 40
Yeah,
minutes
about
ago.
Yep.
So
It's real recent.
Jesus.
This is a really big conversation topic, but like people who think that aborting a fetus is murder have clearly not read a science book whatsoever. Like the start of a life begins differently for
It doesn't.
people. Right?
End of the day, right? End of the day, right? End of the day, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters, right, in my opinion, especially up to, I believe it's 24 weeks in the UK. But again, I'm male, so my opinion is completely irrelevant on this matter. But in my opinion, if the mother's health is at risk, and I mean, like, if it's either her or the baby,
there's a clear winner at that point. There's a very
I don't know, like, it's just not worth the risk, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
just not worth the risk, right? Because the thing is, right, if you ban abortion and a lady genuinely needs a life-saving abortion, and it's illegal in the state, she's either going to die on her way to another state to get an abortion, as it's however many hours to get to the next state, or she's going to go to a backstreet abortion, it's going to go tits up, and she's going to pass away, and the child is going to pass away.
Right.
Or you have a safe way to do it, a safe and legal way to do it that's controlled, recorded, and and regulated, and all of these important factors within the state itself. And then, God forbid that it does happen, but if a lady's health deteriorates and it becomes a matter of mother or child, then the person who is currently alive, physically breathing, has a conscience, has a heartbeat, should supersede. And it's not even like she deserves to live more than the child. It's literally you're killing two people. Like, okay, sometimes the kid makes out, whatever, but it's just unnecessary wasted
baby's-
life
the-
to try and keep the child alive. No, it's not even a child; it's a fetus.
The fetus
like,
isn't gonna
yeah.
say
we're
"Goo
talking
goo gaga, don't
theoretically up
abort
to
me,
24
cunt."
weeks.
Like
right?
it's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Like end of the day, like without sounding rude, it's a fucking piece of goo. Like
Yeah.
I'm also
Scientifically
gonna add the
speaking,
fact
he's not
that-
wrong.
like again, as someone who's born male, that it's whoever's body it is, it's their choice. It's 100% their choice. Whoever is carrying it is their choice to carry out an abortion. It's their choice to carry on with the pregnancy. It's no one else's but theirs. I don't care what the state says. It's basically the person who's carrying.
Well,
Mm.
if you look at Ireland, right? So Ireland recently legalized abortion.
Repeal the eighth.
Congratulations, Ireland! Very proud of you. But about a year ago, they what's it called? Legalized it, right? But before then, what was happening is Irish ladies were flying to the UK, getting their abortions
Or
done in the
getting
UK,
it done
and
at
then
Northern
flying back
Ireland.
home.
There's some clinics that do it as well.
It's,
clinics
it's
do it.
illegal in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
It's completely
Oh,
illegal.
really?
Nope,
Okay.
it's completely illegal in Northern Ireland.
Uh,
Yep. So, as much as the UK is progressive, we need to work on ourselves because the United Kingdom of Great Britain and,
No,
and Northern Ireland ain't doing too
It's
well either.
just a shit show. It's just a shit show. Half the time.
End of the day,
Yeah.
right?
Consider
The bottom line is, no one should be losing their life over religious belief, and the only strong argument, I say strong it's the only opposing argument to abortion not being legal is that God can decide who lives or dies, right? But what the fuck is the point in technology? What the
Right.
fuck is the point in technology if you're gonna have that ethos? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't disagree more with it being banned or whatever. But
Yeah.
again, I'm male. I have no opinion on the matter. You know what should happen? A fucking cabinet of 20 women should be elected in every country, and then they can make the health decisions over ladies, and a cabinet of 20 males can be elected in every country, and those
Yeah.
20 males can make the healthcare decisions
That's
for the
the
males.
thing. There should be an even
Yep.
spread
Yeah.
for,
Reasonable.
for genders. Because, like, and also,
Yeah.
we're not even just that.
No, it shouldn't be an even spread for genders. It should be females make the
And
decisions
also-
for females,
But it
and
should
males
be
make the decisions for
age-specific
males.
as well. I remember
Like,
the
that's
Alabama
it.
law was brought by a female who's about 80 who doesn't even use her ovaries anymore. Like, yeah. Yeah.
I remember seeing
She doesn't
that
What
even
you
one.
do
use
with it?
them,
Brush
bro.
your teeth there? I don't know.
Oh my god,
Oh man.
bro.
That
No,
was
but
brilliant.
Nice.
I agree with you. Yeah. Because I think not necessarily with this issue, but I think a lot of times in politics and in legislature, politicians can be kind of out of touch. You know, if it's an issue that mostly affects younger people, or you know, like there's a lot of things that politicians aren't going to be very well versed on. And I think more diversity in politics is never a bad thing.
Agreed, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, this would be perfect to insert the whole dog sitting around
Yeah,
the
I
round
saw
table,
that,
you know,
yeah.
discussing feline
Yeah,
healthcare.
healthcare,
Probably
yeah.
like my favorite meme out of this whole
It's really good.
abortion discussion and all of that, because it literally paints the easiest picture. You're not going to have a board meeting of dogs talking about feline healthcare and how to, like, you know, best go about all of that. Like, it literally doesn't make any sense to us, so why the fuck are we doing it as humans? Like, literally, I agree with everything Rawssy said regarding that. Not an even spread of genders, but an even spread of
Yeah.
ideals. But, like, people who think like the people that they're legislating for. And I don't want to say it's easy as fuck. On paper, it's easy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
On paper,
get your shit
absolutely.
together.
One
Anyways,
thing.
man.
Sorry, go ahead. Are you done?
It's all good, yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. One thing that I want to bring up really quick, since you were talking about how legislatures want to appeal to their base, or not their base, but like the people they represent. Not that I want to get into this whole conversation, because I don't know how well versed you guys are on it, and I'm not really well versed on it. But gerrymandering is a huge issue over here, in my
What the
opinion.
hell is that?
So for those who don't know, gerrymandering is where the lines that surround a district, because like there's a state and then there's counties and then there's like districts, which are like subsections, right? The lines of what defines that district can sort of be drawn by whoever wants to draw them. So you can sort of edge in people who agree with you and edge out people who don't, so you're more likely to pass laws that you agree with as a politician.
What the fuck?
That's a huge problem over here. You'll see districts that have really funky shapes and really like things that'll go down like literally certain streets and stuff like that. They're not clearly defined like blocks, and it's purely for that fact. So politicians can get reelected and get their ideals passed and stuff like that. It's really messy.
So basically, a politician could go, hey, I know I'm going to get more votes from this street, but this street are going to vote against me. I'm just going to conveniently chop this street out of my electorate.
Basically,
And America says it's not corrupt. Okay.
No, I don't know which Americans aren't saying it's corrupt, brother. It's corrupt as fuck. Something needs to change.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, that is the craziest shit. Like, and it shows you, like, the two UK people in this conversation had no idea what that is. That just does, like,
I'm actually surprised you guys didn't know.
That's just not allowed. Like, it's just not, like...
You'd think,
the
right?
fucking constituencies have been defined here for hundreds of years, and they have not changed. They may have changed, but it wouldn't have changed, like, just before an election. It would have changed, like, in a controlled way that was agreed by in government, instead of someone just going, I'm going to get more votes here.
We have
Let me
county
just
votes,
nab
like,
this off you.
So, like, how many seats there are to pass a legislation or like pass an election and stuff. Which I'm gonna.
I think America has something similar. So they'll have the federal government, and then they've got their state. I don't know what they'd call it, but state house or whatever. I don't really know.
Yeah. So there's the nationwide Senate and the House, and then each state has their own Senate.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Exactly. It's similar. The easiest comparison for European people would be similar to the European Union and the countries within the European Union. So collectively, we are one union. Not for long.
See you.
Collectively, we are one union. But then within that, the countries themselves are still allowed to dictate their laws for the most part, but they have some restrictions at the higher European level / federal level for America.
Briefly touched on Brexit and kind of like the whole, we were talking about Alabama and age and stuff. Do you agree with Brexit at all, Rawssy? No. We're gonna. Are you a Remainer or are you a Libra? That's the real question. Yeah,
I'm a hard Remainer.
Like it's fucking over a lot of things in my family because my mum is still not a UK citizen. So, ooh boy.
My mum was not a UK citizen until the Brexit vote passed, and then she became a UK citizen just
lucky,
in case.
So lucky. My mum has been here for 11 years, has been married to my dad for 25, and she still cannot get a UK citizenship because they think that they think the wedding was fake because it was in Hong Kong or something like that.
Oh wow!
But Hong Kong was a UK
exactly. So like,
but that was a long
22.
time ago. So.
Just bear that in mind. I'm a 22-year-old person who has grown up in the UK for about 11 years as well, and the rest of it was 11 years in South Korea and Philippines as well. So, like, I am evidence that they've been together for 25 years or more, right? So, and they still don't want to give, they don't want to give their citizenship at all because they think it's like a green card. Like, I don't get it.
That's ridiculous.
Is your mum European at all?
So she's.
Oh, yikes! That's gonna be dangerous. So, like, I guess similar, not to the extremity that you're experiencing it. My mum is also an immigrant. For the people who are unaware, my mother is Spanish. She's lived here 35-ish years. She's worked for the police the majority of those years. The brief years that she didn't work for the police, she was looking after me and my brother when we were very, very young. And yeah, she's paid her taxes. She's done everything legitimately. She's been married to my dad. And then Brexit comes along and it's suddenly
Yeah.
all up in the air and it's like, well, what the fuck's gonna happen? So she went through, she did her citizenship test, she did all the hoops that you have to do, and she is now a UK citizen, but it cost a pretty fucking penny
Yeah.
just to be able to say, right, there's nothing the UK
I'm
government
fairly
can
sure
do
my
now.
mum's visa is about 2k
Really?
per year.
That's
Yes.
outrageous.
Citizenship even here is pretty expensive because my parents are from Jamaica. Being my brothers and I, my 3 younger brothers and I, being born here, we're automatically citizens. So I have dual
Right.
citizenship for Jamaica and here. But my mom is actually also working on hers right now to be able to be called a U.S. citizen.
That's so
Yeah,
crazy.
she'll be fine. My dad doesn't want to work on his, so he's really stubborn. But I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Because the process is long-winded and really stupid,
So
especially
we're
for
talking about
us.
citizenship
No, I don't
processes,
doubt it.
right? I bet you
Yeah.
anyone
Yeah.
who is in the UK, anyone who takes that citizenship test, fucking 70 to 80% of the people who live in the UK will fail that test. I have seen the questions on that test, and that is
Oh, the
fucking
questions!
impossible.
No. Liam, have
Yo.
you seen the American ones? I would fail that too.
I've
Pretty
seen
nutty.
a little bit, but I've heard that
Bruh,
it's like
I
ridiculous.
reckon I could pass an American one. I don't know, bro.
I don't know about that.
American
Should we pull up the questions,
citizenship test. Right, okay, I'm finding one online, don't worry.
Alright.
Dude,
The
at one
civic-
point, there was some crazy shit on there.
Yeah. It's a lot of,
Question.
like,
This
history
is on the U.S. government website, U.S.
Okay.
Citizenship and Immigration Services. Question 1. When do we celebrate Independence Day? A. July 4th. B. March 4th. C. January 1st. D. June 30th.
March the
That's an
5th,
easy
Cinco
one.
de
July
Mayo,
4th. Yeehaw,
motherfucker.
brothers.
questions.
Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because it was considered lucky to have 13, because the stripes represent the number of signatures in the US Constitution, because the stripes represent the members of the Second Continental Congress, because the stripes represent the original colonies. D. The stripes represent the original colonies. Next. What is the rule of law? Everyone
I love
Everyone
this one
must
now.
follow the law. All laws must be the same in every state. Everyone but the president must follow the law. Government does not have to follow the law. I'm going to go ahead and say A. Everyone must follow the law.
That's really
correct.
weird. I would have
Nice.
put
20.
E. I am
Nice.
abstaining from the law. I am better than the law.
Name
I am
one
higher.
branch or part of government. A. Congress. B. State government. C. State governments. United Nations. A. Congress. That was
Yeah.
easy peasy, boys. 4 for 4 so far.
Good
Give me
shit.
that passport, boy! Who is the father of our country? There we go. This is where it's starting to get a little bit more difficult.
Ooh, yeah.
Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Patrick Henry, Thomas
Jefferson?
Jefferson.
Who the fuck is Patrick
Um,
Henry?
I don't know who Patrick Henry
Patrick
is.
Henry.
This is
no
a
idea,
50-50
bro.
for me. I would
I'm
either say
sweating.
George Washington or Thomas Jefferson, but I'm going to go with Jefferson. That's incorrect. It was Washington. I fucking knew it was
I
one of
fucking
them.
knew.
Right.
Yes.
What is the name of the current Vice President of the United States? That, my boys, is Michael Pence.
I would have known that.
Yes, it is.
Fucking hell.
Sadly.
I don't know anything.
What
Under
is this
our-
test? This isn't the old one that I've seen. What
No,
the
yeah.
This is
fuck?
on the official Department of Homeland Security website, bro.
That's funny.
Under our constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the state? To create an army, to make treaties, to coin or print money, to provide schooling and education. It's to provide schooling and education. Bro, I'm so fucking smart. What is the freedom of religion? You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. You must choose a religion. You can't choose the time you practice the religion. Right, it's obviously A. You can choose any religion or not to practice. But
I would hope so.
what is
yeah.
the name of the current United States president? Oh boy, I'm gonna go
Obama.
ahead and say Barack Obama.
Return.
Boys, I
It's
am
my
currently,
president.
It's
I'm
not-
currently
he's-
8 for 1.
he's not the
Obviously,
current-
that was Donald Trump for
the-
anyone. That
Yeah. No, obviously.
I know.
doesn't know. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? The Great Depression, slavery, climate change, or
Communism.
communism? Well, it should have been fucking climate change, but it's communism.
Should have been climate change.
This is a.
Who vetoes
So that's
bills?
the
The
real Cold
president, the president pro tempore, the Speaker of the House, the Vice President. I believe this is a trick question. I think it's the Speaker of the House,
I don't know. I
but
have no
it
fucking
could also
clue.
be the president.
When it comes to politics, my mind is a zero. Like, I'm horrid.
I'm gonna go with Speaker of the House. Fuck, it was the president. Fuck!
Damn. Close.
What do some states have more representatives than? Why do some states have more representatives than other states? Because of the state's population, the state's location, the state's representatives have seniority in the House of Representatives because of the geographical size of the state. I believe it's the population.
It is the
Correct.
population.
It is indeed the population.
You have to send me this test so I can edit in like stills of this. This.
Yeah,
we could talk about electoral college, but that's a whole mess.
God.
Oh god.
Yeah.
What is one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? Establish the United Nations.
Killed.
Saved or preserved the Union. Declared war on Great Britain or
Didn't he
purchased
end
Alaska.
slavery?
The U.S. history abridged. Oh my god.
I actually
What was
don't know
it?
the answer to this. I'm gonna assume that he declared war on the UK.
I think it's ended
Oh,
slavery.
slavery.
No,
he did.
he saved or preserved, the,
Preserve
Union. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's the Civil War boy. Oops, my bad, boys.
The Civil War boy.
See, like American history, I'm not fantastic
Wh-
at.
How's
But
No, fair play.
how's
I mean,
your
you don't
English
live
history, Ross? Like,
why did colonists fight the British because of high taxes? Come on, we on.
It's 'cause
What? It wasn't
the
high
tea was too
taxes.
stinky.
Oh. No, why? I
Welcome
didn't
back
read.
to
I
the
didn't
tea.
read the.
it's
I didn't read the
piping.
answers
It's
properly.
too piping. Oh.
Oh my god.
It was a slight trick question. It was, why did the colonists fight the British? Because they didn't have self-government. Because the British army stayed in their houses because of high taxes. Or D, all of these answers. And it was, of course, all of these. Well, it looks like I'm not getting my citizenship, boys. I failed 4 questions.
Good effort.
Get out
Good
of here.
effort.
Name
We
one
had him in the
problem
first
that
half. We
led
had him in the first half.
one problem that led to the Civil War. Oil? Oh, it was... Oh, wait. I don't know why I thought that was the Cold War in my brain. Oh, my God. Of course the Civil War was slavery.
Oh
What
my
the
God,
fuck?
Ross.
Stupid.
He's talking all this high shit.
Bro, I read
high shit. Oh my lord.
Bro, I read the Civil War and my brain computed it as the Cold War.
You saw
That's
Sea
not
War,
sea,
and then you
yeah,
filled in the
so-
sea.
Ugh. God, my brain doesn't work. What does the president cabinet do?
Hide in
Advise the president. Yeah, easy peasy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
What
didn't
stopped
say
say
one
hide in
branch
it.
of government from becoming...
God damn it.
I'm already out
everyone's
the closet, bro.
Liam is
Oh, shit.
definitely most likely not gay.
100%.
Drew's like
Definitely most likely.
leaning towards straight, but he has gay tendencies to eat my ass.
Whoa, we
What do you
can't
mean
have
I'm
that on
allowing
the
that?
podcast. What are you talking about?
Mally, keep it in.
Future Mally keep that in.
Oh my god. Yeah, we want to.
Do we want to
segue into?
Do we want to segue?
the other one?
Yeah.
So speaking of getting deployed and getting kicked out of the states and citizenship and stuff, TFue versus FaZe. I have no idea about this topic, so you guys can talk freely about it because I have no fucking idea.
I don't know a ton about it either.
Well, it's
Mm.
just kind of a
Yeah,
mash,
just
really.
like the US.
I don't know. The contract that FaZe gave TFue, which was pretty predatory, I'm not gonna lie, was what FaZe defined as a quotations starter contract. Because remember when TFue joined.
Oh,
Oh yikes!
hello.
Don't worry, I'm back. I accidentally unplugged my headset.
Wait,
Let's go.
check if you're
Um,
recording Audacity. Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Yeah, it's still recording on Audacity. Yeah. So when TFue recruited FaZe, they put him on a quotations starter contract, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty predatory contract, but I mean, you do have to remember that before TFue joined FaZe, he was literally a no one. Like he had 100 views. I mean, 100 views on a Twitch stream is not bad. Don't get me wrong, but like compared to the numbers he's pulling now,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I get why FaZe did it, and like I totally get it. They're kind of like they're taking a gamble on this kid. Like they kind of want to get their money's worth. But at the same time, like you look at FaZe and they've never collected on the terms of their contract, right? So the terms are 80% of the money that TFue makes would go to FaZe and 20% would go to TFue, which of course is a disgustingly high cut.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't
when you consider the fact that FaZe have not collected on any of that whatsoever, ever, apart from one brand deal that they brought to TFue.
Yeah, where Banks said they took the 60K and that was it.
Exactly, they took 60K, which they've now donated to an esport organization, I believe.
Yeah, they
did like
UMG Friday Fortnite stuff with Keen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and they tried renegotiating with him multiple times, offering him new contracts. They even offered him a contract where they would take no money off of him and they would pay him $1 million a year. And he was like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm just gonna sue you, lol." But here's the controversy about it: is people think, and this is from FaZe people as well. People think that his dad is a bit of a dadager, so like he's kind of like
Dadager.
running it for TFue,
Right.
and basically everyone thinks that TFue's dad is pushing him to sue FaZe. Don't get me wrong, TFue definitely wins the court case because the contract, I'm fairly sure, violates California law, and they both live and operate in California. The organization, excuse me, the organization of FaZe and TFue live and reside in California, and it violates the law. So I don't know. It's kind of sketch. It's kind of predatory by FaZe. It's kind of shitty of TFue to do because, like, if you think about his mates, 40 of his friends rely on FaZe. Not necessarily as a primary income, but if it wasn't for FaZe, they wouldn't be as big as they were, etc. 40 of his friends rely on that organization, and he's suing it and could potentially bring it to the ground. I don't think FaZe will ever be brought to the ground because it's just such a staple name, but
Yep.
it's like it's a loyalty thing. Like if your mates are renegotiating your contract, they're literally paying you $1 million a year, and you're just going for the jugular. I don't know. It's a bit shitty from both ends, and I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I wouldn't doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that this will settle quietly in a back room, and it won't actually go to court. It'll just be FaZe paying TFue a bit of money, well, probably a lot of money, and then cancelling his contract.
That's what we hope, unless, Banks blows up on social media again, which is bound to happen.
Is TFue the 11-year-old, right? So who's
No, he's way...
No, the 11-year-old is somebody completely different.
Yeah. TFue was just, 19 or 20, I think, when they picked him up. And that's why there were all those issues about him saying they pushed him to drink before he was 21, and encouraged him to do all of this reckless stuff, which supposedly he was doing beforehand already. I don't know too much about the specifics. But I know that was one of the issues raised legally, was that they were quote-unquote pressuring him to drink before he was 21.
There was a Twitch streamer under FaZe who got banned because he was 11. I can't remember. I think it was Drew who told me about that yesterday.
Yeah. I did hear about that, yeah.
FaZe High Sky. I think that was the kid's name? I don't know. The only time I ever heard of it was when Andrew brought it up. I didn't even know that was a thing until a few hours ago. But it was because they were lying about his age, essentially, and he got banned off of Twitch. But it doesn't mean he can't still stream on
dad's
YouTube.
Permission or something. Just go watch him in the back room. Just until he's 13. It's easy.
The main reason I put this topic on the list was because of how emotional Banks was and Banks' response, how much it kind of correlated to our team and the guys closest to us. Like Rawssy said, literally it's one of your homies snaking you, and it broke his heart so much to the point where he was like, even if my lawyers say I can't talk about it, even if the rest of the guys say I can't, I literally have to get this off my chest. He put out a 20-minute video. I sat there and listened to all of it. And though, I didn't think I would be this interested in the topic, it was just that the guys, the team, this high level, one thing goes wrong in the machine, and one cog breaks in the machine, and it can almost bring the entire organization down to this level, and people are still talking about it today. It's not flying on social media as much as it was when it broke.
Right,
but I don't know. I just found this to be such an interesting topic.
Yeah. And I think you're right about sort of the one thing going wrong. I think this is also just something that hit Banks really personally, and Banks is very much the face of it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's one of the sort of front runners, I guess. Even if he's not a streamer, he sort of represents the organization.
Yep.
And I think FaZe as an organization is a good representative of like the esports and I don't want to phrase this, like the content creation side of gaming. And they've been such a staple in the community for ages. And I think that's also what contributed to the amount of publicity this got.
It's not even just that as well, though. It's like FaZe Banks literally picked up TFue and was like, "This kid has potential. This kid has potential. Let's skyrocket him to the top. Bring him in on FaZe. Do all this." Literally coached him. Not necessarily coached him, sorry, but like scouted him out. Found a, let's be honest, a nobody, and then developed him into a fucking huge staple name in the esports industry. And that friend, quotations of his, has now just turned around and lodged a knife in his back.
Right.
The funniest thing too is Cloaksy didn't even want to play with this dude. Cloaksy literally said, "I don't want to do it with this fucker. What the hell are you doing?" And Banks actually pleaded Cloaksy to do it with him. And it took so much pleading for that to happen. And then for all of this to just turn around and literally stab in the back.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to transition. Do we want to talk about topic number 4?
I don't think we should, since we're like an hour.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're
so,
past it. Let's just get on to the fun
We're gonna try and so we covered quite a lot of deep stuff like today. It was amazingly deep. So let's go to a more wholesome section. You know, just try and make it more fun. So if you so you know how Smash Brothers has a fucking cool ass roster from the Nintendo universe. If you could make a fighting game like Smash Brothers, which series would you inclusively have? Like, what would you add? Because like Pokemon has it kind of with like Pokken. What else?
Oh, the Pokken tournament stuff and like Tekken. No, Tekken.
Halo. Capcom versus Marvel has like Capcom crossovers and stuff, like Mega Man's in it, and Phoenix Wright's in it, like it's nuts.
You could do Halo.
Dude, wait, Halo?
Ooh, that's really cool.
That'd be sick. Like, would it be like a Smash Brothers type deal, or would it be
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Because that's the type of game that that's what I interpreted the question as. It's like if you could have Smash Bros, but with any other character roster. Who would you pick? Probably Halo, honestly, because it's got a fucking deep roster. You got your Master Chiefs, you got your little
the
fucking
ODST people.
I don't even know what they're called.
You got your Arbiters
and the Elites.
Yeah,
the
like
grunts.
the wee fucking weird alien shits.
Tanks are really cool as well. Play like Bowser. That'd be fucking sick. Mine would be.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, but I like found my stuff from like the 15th when I put it in there.
Good shit.
But basically, it was like with Cartoon Network characters. I think that was
that's what the original tweet
stipulation on it. Yeah.
We can.
I guess we can branch out.
It's like a really broad. It's more broad if we don't do it like an inclusive thing. We could just do in the general like video game and TV series and stuff.
So not that it's exactly the same, but I really like what fans have done with Soul Calibur 6. With Soul Calibur 6, where because the character customization aspect of the game is so good, you can make basically any character you can think of. It's gonna look a little wonky, but people do it. So you'll see people like Critical playing as like Mr. Krabs or like Sheen from fucking Jimmy Neutron and shit like that. Like he made Carl Weezer for like a whole video. Like it's incredible.
Fucking sick. I need to watch that after this. It's crazy. I'm over here like I would add fucking Rigby from Regular Show, then Boy from Teen Titans. Those would be my top. Ben 10
would have his own like.
It would be so sick.
Talk about Ben 10.
Dude, Ben 10's fucking
all the aliens compete against each other. We like alien tournament or something. Ben 10's alien tournament, and then Kevin's there.
Kevin 11.
There.
Oh no.
Grandpa's there. He's just like a joke character. That'd be sick. Fucking the UK has like weird ass nursery CBB shit. Imagine the Night Garden Rawssy as a fucking Smash game.
Oh god.
That's
fucking
Iggle
scary,
Piggle
bro. What the
fucking
hell?
comes out with his blanket and kills everyone. Shit, dude.
What the hell?
Yeah, but then the Teletubbies rock up and batter everyone.
Teletubbies DLC though, I gotta pay for
S
that.
tier.
Tinky Winky is best character. Oh, I love
Incredible.
that shit. Another hypothetical. How does Sonic run so fast? How him?
Not so much a
just a
hypothetical,
question.
but a good discussion
Just a
question. Why is he
Why
so
him run
fast?
so fast?
Personally, I think it's the aerodynamics. You know, because he gets into a ball, right? So he can just fucking
The
zoom.
zoomies and in his own ball.
Yeah, I think he's more aerodynamic than he is when he's standing up with his hair. And
If
shoes
you want to
and
get
all that.
specific, a ball ain't very aerodynamic, boy.
I mean, it's more aerodynamic than like a hedgehog.
Dude, like his spikes give him aerodynamics, right? Because it's more like streamlined, right?
I mean, I guess,
That's more
but like
true.
the whole
Less-
body
less
shape
wind.
can't
You
be
guys see
very good.
the Sonic trailer, right? So at
Probably.
the
Yeah.
at the fucking awful thing, but like they added something from the comics
Yeah,
that's
dude.
really cool, where Sonic has like this collection of shoes because he runs so fast. He burns through shoes really quick, so he's
Right.
just got like a stack of shoes. That was
Oh,
a really
yeah.
cool addition to just add.
But so you're saying he's rocking
Dude,
the
yeah,
AF1s, that's
he-
why he's so fast. right?
Not a sponsored
No!
place, by the way. We're not sponsored by him. He's just got really good shoes on, you know.
Yeah. Did you guys see
Completely non-branded on his own.
the live action Belle Delphine
Oh my
Sonic
God.
Photoshop?
No, stop.
Is it safe for work? 'Cause I'll put it up here. All right, I'll put
It is
up.
safe for work. It's definitely safe
Okay,
for work.
that's good. Good. Like, so many discussion points about Sonic. Why is he getting a live-action movie now when he's not really that popular?
How did they fuck up so bad on the character model?
Horrendous.
Where are
I was
his
gonna say,
gloves?
why is his
Yo.
fur colored white in his hands when it's gloves? You dumb motherfuckers!
See, yeah.
Didn't they like come out
Yeah,
and
they're
say
gonna-
that they were gonna redesign
Here's
the
my
character?
here's my hot take on it.
Yep.
They had like a good Sonic base, but they're gonna ship out the bad Sonic base first so that they could see the reactions from the fans. So that they're gonna ship out the
They're just testing the
exactly. They're gonna
waters.
ship out the good Sonic base over the bad one, just so that they gain clout. They got
And then
they got clout
everyone's
from the
everyone's-
publicity from the
sorry.
bad one,
Yeah.
so that they're more excited to go for the good
Oh.
one. And now Jim Carrey doesn't have to carry the film.
Oh, I forgot Jim Carrey was in it.
Main
Bro,
antagonist.
He's
Yeah, yeah,
Eggman,
Shit
isn't
got
he?
Laid to February 2020
Okay,
because
never
of
mind. Then. I don't
backlash.
think it's that then.
Dude, I was
Even though it
gonna
already
say,
has a 4.4 on IMDb, like, already got
so-
shafted. But
So they beta
Come back.
tested Trash Sonic, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna put out slightly better Sonic, so it looks better by
They're gonna put
comparison.
gloves on him.
It's still not gonna
They're
be
gonna put
good,
gloves
but
on
it's
him.
gonna be better. Yeah, dude, they're gonna give him gloves.
it's all a psychological play on the director's half.
Oh my
Feel
god, there
bait
was,
and switch,
there was a
you know?
YouTube video for the Sonic movie. It was Sonic trailer, but without Sonic, and it's 100% better. Like, it's 400 times better.
That's so good.
I'll link it you guys to after, and I'll put a card in
Yeah,
on the
we'll
top
have to see
right
this.
for the link for that. It's fucking fun.
Stellar.
It's so
Future
funny.
Mally, dude. Clutch.
Mally and Drew work on the after, and future Mally and Drew work on the after production of the videos and stuff, so we'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Let's
nice. Shout out to them.
let's go to the tier list section of this week's podcast, which is top
All right.
3 Twitch streamers. So we're gonna
We're
what
gonna
was the
we're gonna do tier lists at the end of these podcasts until
Yeah,
the meme
basically.
dies out.
We're gonna ride the wave until it's
so it was
full ripple.
Liam, Drew, Alex, me. So it would
Let's let the
let's
guest
do,
go
yeah, let's
first.
do Rawssy first. Yeah,
That's
Rawssy-
an
Rawssy
idea.
go first.
Yeah.
Rawssy, give us your top 3 Twitch streamers.
You want me to go first? So, I shamelessly am going to admit that I am one of these normies that will not watch Twitch streamers but will watch their highlights on YouTube. And this is because, I don't know, I've lost myself in this echo chamber on YouTube and I don't know, it's great. It's like a good, easy way to kill 15-20 minutes
It's a good
whenever
way to
I see
digest
one
the
of these videos
content,
on my
yeah.
timeline.
I agree. Yeah, a stream
But-
can be really long, and there's time issues. And anyway, go ahead.
My number 3, and it was kind of close. Like I wasn't sure if I was gonna put him in here, but Soda Popping is number 3 for me. I think he's just a staple. Like his streams are relatively funny. He does have a little bit of a flair of what's the word?
Yeah,
Idiocy. Like I don't know.
So dumb.
You need to be a bit of an idiot to make it big on Twitch, right? But his content that I love, is his PO box openings. They are
Yes.
so funny. I love his PO box openings. And then my number 2, I don't really know, to be honest. It's probably a tie for number
that's
1,
fine.
but a combination of XQC and Greek God are like Greek is the content king. Like he knows how
honestly
to
is.
entertain. Greek knows how to entertain, and XQC is just a fucking idiot. It's so funny how stupid he is.
Dude,
And yeah, that's my top 3. I love XQC smashing his desk apart and pronouncing shit wrong. I love Greek being an absolute raging meme lord, and Soda Popping's PO
dude,
box
fucking
openings.
one clip I saw from XQC was him watching an eagle fly through like a video, and he just said, "Is that a chicken?"
A chicken?
Put that up, Mally.
Or when there was a leopard eating a leopard had just killed something, and he was like, "Oh my god, a Cheeto!"
Oh my god.
So
That's
stupid.
incredible.
I love him. And like his accent probably carries most of his stream as well, and he has to. Yeah, it's his
Absolutely.
dumb fucking French Canadian.
French
accent
Canadian,
carries
yeah.
it. So we're gonna do basically reverse of last week's. So it's gonna be Rawssy, me, Drew, then Liam. So yeah. So
we're
mine
good.
would be, I'm sorry,
Go.
Rawssy, but my number 3 is also Soda Poppin'. I fucking love the guy. I've been watching him during Mop, when he was complaining about Mop in the WoW areas, WoW era, all the way through now where he's playing Classic, and he was playing GTA RP. That shit was entertaining to watch. Like I wasted so many hours watching Soda Poppin' play a character which is literally himself, but like 10 times on steroids. Like his anxiety on that character is about 100 times what Soda Poppin' actually is, and it's fucking hilarious. It's great. He gets into trouble. Highly check out the series. It is really good. My second Twitch streamer would be Wreckful. I love Byron. Byron is one of the most realist, like wholesome people on Twitch.television. He did like a whole year. Basically, he was traveling for a whole year, and he did IRL content. He went to Japan. He went to Spain. He went to a lot of parts of the US. Like he started Pokemon Go streaming. He was like the top Pokemon Go streamer, and he's so funny. I'm so sad that he's kind of like not putting out content like that. But it's because you have to keep your audience somehow. So he's back to auto chess, back to like Hearthstone, etc., etc. Which kind of sucks. My number 1 streamer, you guys will never have heard of her, is Vic Loves D. Vic is a very up and coming like Twitch streamer. Oh yeah, sorry. Liam just put in the server chat that we never addressed that Alex isn't here. Alex is currently at work. I'll put that in the beginning of the video. I'll just future man will edit that in if I remember.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just realized.
So Vic Loves
We never even
Vic
talked about it.
Vic Loves D is my top number 1 streamer because she's a close friend of mine. She's a really good content creator. She plays Apex Legends, which kind of sucks because it's a dying game. But hopefully, when she picks up something that is, something more relevant, because she used to play Overwatch. She was top 500 in Overwatch, and she used to get a lot of views from that. Currently going out with my one of my best friends from down south, Strontium Muffin on Twitter.com. A bunch of wholesome, but both of them wholesome people. I love them to bits. Love them to bits. Drew? Or is it? Oh, it's
Cool.
Liam. Excuse me.
Nice.
Wait,
I thought it
I'm
was Drew.
dumb. Yeah, it's
It was
Drew.
Drew.
Wait. Oh, it is me. All right.
Yeah.
Even though I've watched a ton of Twitch streams in the past, like disgusting hours, I can't really say that any of those have been my favorite. Like, a few honorable mentions, I guess, are a lot of the RS3 PVMers. Even though a lot of people really hate their content, they're like, "Oh, it's Resident Sleeper," all that shit. But like, an RS3 PVMer, I watch them to, put on mechanics, see what I can burn myself at. Like, literally learn from them. So, two honorable mentions I have are Rawssy and Couchy. But going into my top three, I guess really in no particular order, kind of all on the same playing field. I guess we'll start from bottom up. We got my homie Raj Patel.
Raj is very interesting.
I mean, fucking Austin,
my God.
dude. This man literally started in the gates of Alcarid, made it to literally number one on Twitch multiple times for variety streams, fucking game shows, bringing on multiple different facets, having people win, and then being able to shout themselves out, get themselves out there, pushing content creation to the max. Like, I know for the longest time he did the whole Raj Patel skit where he was like, oh my god, I'm this Indian dude and whatever. Right. He ran with that forever. And then the day when it came out where he was like a white dude named Austin, everybody lost their fucking shit. Because he was like, it was an actual accident, him revealing that. And then he basically just ran with that. So he basically does a two personality kind of duality thing. And I absolutely love the content of his streams. So moving on, Nintendo. Nintendo's channel is so cute and wholesome, especially for when new games release and a bunch of Switch announcements, like little blips here and there from the Japanese creators and developers from the Nintendo studios. I just love watching it and being caught up with basically everything to do with Nintendo consoles and the whole community. Very good to watch on the back burner and like go back and their past videos and just watch all of that shit. It's literally a console that I grew up on, so to have them on Twitch and to have them as interactive with the Twitch community as they are is really, really, really nice.
And I have to say, sorry, before you go on, it's really cool, not that I've seen any of these streams, but just hearing you talk about it, it's really cool to see the actual company Nintendo having a presence on Twitch rather than a representative or a streamer who happens to use Nintendo products. I think it's rare to have, like, the actual company themselves have a good presence.
Yeah. It's something that they do really well, even though some of their events are really stupid and they're not lined up properly, and we can't play with our fucking international friends. We gotta play in our domestic area. They'll work on that, but it's like, they're doing a lot of shit right, and I absolutely love them for it. And my number top of the list, unironically, my boy Allison Quinn. Who remembers this legend? This legend. Literally every time I watched his fucking streams, I cried laughing. I could not. There were so many streams where I couldn't breathe laughing so hard. He does the dumbest antics. He was literally the creator of chopping fucking yew trees and dancing in the background to crazy ass songs, while like his Twitch community, his Twitch chat interaction was by far one of the highest ones at its time. I'm sure a lot of other streamers now do this, but they pushed the whole Twitch chat interaction mainly because of streamers like this kid, Allison Quinn. Like, he would take requests from the audience, look at what the audience says, like, he'd take random songs. There was dude, if we told him to shave his head, he would shave his head. Like, it's just the little crazy things like that make, like, a really stressful day so bearable. And, like, I don't know, I really appreciate streamers like that. So that's my top three.
Yeah. Good shit, dude. Alright. These are in no particular order. And they're a little more boring, I think. But I'll mention Skidler. I'm a huge fan of Elliot. I think he's hilarious. I think all the guys he works with are hilarious, like EVscape and Perp and Ron. And all the series they've done together worked really well. They have good chemistry. He's always got good quips for stuff people say in the chat. And he's good at old school as well. So he's got, like, two sort of elements of his content. Like, he's entertaining on his own and he's good at the game, so it just works really well. I'll also mention Critical, who I referenced earlier. He did. I haven't kept up with him in a minute, I'll be quite honest. But his whole Soul Calibur Saturdays was, like, one of my favorite things. Where he'd just play Soul Calibur 6 on Saturday, but he'd always have the most ridiculous created characters. Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron, Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like, the dumbest shit you've ever heard of. Mr. Krabs, like... And he would do well with these characters, and he'd go up against equally fucking ridiculous characters, and, like, just his commentary is great. I'm a huge fan of his in general. It's so cool to see somebody who, like, plays fucking RuneScape to be, like, a staple YouTuber, and to be, like, all over the map in terms of games and get hundreds of thousands of views on like the stupidest videos about him using a fleshlight as a weapon. Like he single-handedly has a hold on the monkey nut market in old school RuneScape without a doubt. And then third, I'll mention. I mean, basically on the same level as Skidler, but I'm a big fan of Bodhi as well.
Give me your money.
It's nice to see the passion. Yeah, dude. It's nice to see the level of passion that he has for the game right now, because, like, I feel like a lot of people are kind of chugging along, but he still seems to be, like, loving it at every turn. I mean, he's on his, like, 4th hardcore Iron Man and still loving the game and making his own rules. Like, he basically pioneered Iron Man to begin with his whole one-man army series, so it's cool to see him still crushing it. Like, he's been crushing it, and he's still destroying. Like, still gets stellar numbers. He's pumping out videos. He's doing Twitch. Like, he's killing it. And one other person that I'll mention who is sort of up and coming, and more just, like, someone I'm excited to see making moves is the guy who runs the Astari YouTube channel, which is more of, like, an underground hip-hop rap thing. But he's branching out into Twitch. He's playing games. He's talked about wanting to stream old school a couple times. It's cool to see that sort of collision of worlds. Like someone who's essentially one of the gatekeepers to the underground hip-hop industry, like, playing video games on Twitch, and let alone fucking RuneScape. Like, I don't know, it's the craziest shit to me to see, like, these two things kind of melding into one through, like, I mean, with the ultimate gain to get more publicity, I guess, and to get your name out there, but, like, it's still just fucking insane. And I think, like, there's only good things to come from it. So that's my top 3 plus an honorable mention.
Speaking of honorable mentions, I'd put Nothing Nowhere as one of the top streamers there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he streams.
He streamed Apex a bunch.
I think it's just Apex and Fortnite.
Fuck?
Yeah, I think it's both those.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He plays Apex with fucking Shinigami. Like,
He played
incredible.
Wars too. Like, it was fucking nuts.
It's so
like,
good.
It's so cool.
It's unreal. I need to watch
Yeah,
these.
just follow Nothing
Fuck.
Nowhere, dude.
I don't even care how good he
You'll
is
see a
at the
Twitch
game,
link
dude.
drop every few days or so, and then he's just like chilling out, playing with some fans or like playing with some other creators. It's sick.
He's got, like, the best origin name, too. I can't remember what it is, but it's him, Gucci, and Shinny have the best usernames.
I can't remember what Gucci's was.
It's something
Gucci
like...
Fly Swatter. That's what it was. Gucci Fly Swatter.
That's what it is.
Gucci Fly Swatter. That's a sick.
It's incredible. It
name.
makes me
it's
so
great.
happy.
Anyway, we should
Gucci Fly
wrap up
Swatter.
the podcast. It's a very nice,
I
very
think
good
so.
week.
It's been a good
We
amount of time.
have some very hard hitting
Yeah.
topics, some wholesome, as we always do.
We had a lot of fun this week.
How'd you feel, Rawssy? You had a good time?
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah, I
good.
enjoyed it, mate.
Good to have you.
Great.
Dude.
Glad to hear, brother. Yeah,
It's very,
always.
very good to have you. So we're gonna have to say goodbye, unfortunately, till next week.
So is Drew gonna do our outro since
Oh,
he
if
did
you
our
want,
intro?
yeah. Sorry, I'm taking over the spot. I'm sorry, I'm taking the job.
No,
I'm taking
no,
the job.
dude. If it's more,
I just
if it's
suggested
more natural for you. Oh God, Liam, dude, Liam's
You
a
did the
fucking
intro,
snake.
bro.
Fucking yeah, I like the consistency. I don't know.
You don't
Well,
have to.
we've got our socials linked down below. That shit is in the comments. You can't see me pointing to the comments because this isn't a real video, but
it's
I'm
down
doing
there.
it, and it's down
Good
there.
arrow.
And you know what?
There you go.
Follow our guest Rawssy at twitter.com/Rawssy. That's RAWSSY.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you for coming on to the podcast, dude. Honestly, it's been a kind of a roller coaster getting everybody together to flesh out this podcast. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. So I really appreciate everybody who's been giving us support, like feedback and messages and stuff like that. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's
Fantastic.
It's been a pleasure, boys. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, dude.
Of
Thank you
course.
for being
Thank
on.
you.
see you next week.
Indeed.
There's
see you
more
next
to
time.
come.
See ya. Follow me
There's
at
more to
twitter.com/Rawssy.
come.
Right!
Rawssy!